are listening to the Chompcast, the official podcast of Sword Chomp. And remember, you can always go to swordchomp.com where you can access the many places our podcast is available for download. But if you're listening to the show right now, that means you found us. So welcome to the madness that is the Chompcast. Jump in the
Young
cockpit. Money. Young money. Thank you, Shay. Jump in the cockpit, grab the controls, strap in, and grab your helmet. No, this isn't the crazy sex machine that Fish keeps in his basement. We are jumping into our own mechs as we are battle ready in a new episode of the Chompcast as we've been playing tons of Into the Breach, a game you probably haven't even heard of, and that's a damn shame. So we're going to break that down later. The topic of the show is really interesting today. I mean, have you ever heard about a game premise or a concept and said to yourself, that sounds dumb as hell, and then you played the game and it totally blew your fucking mind? We thought that'd be a perfect topic of the show. Basically, the idea is video games that sound awful on paper, but in reality, were incredible. We have some amazing and fun Instagram poll results at the @SwordChomp Instagram, including why wasn't Donkey Kong Country 2 on the SNES Classic? Will humanity be succeeded by AI? Japanese Taco Bell? Piloting your own mech in a dream fantasy scenario, and the final season of Love on Netflix. All sorts of random shit, so it's going to be a lot of fun to inject the show with some good stuff because the games are kind of thin about right now as we're all kind of waiting for Far Cry 5 to drop. The bio break this week is a cool correlation between meerkat colonies and strategy games that Shay picked out, and we have so much more. It is going to be a badass show, so thanks for dropping in with us. Let's get to some intros here right off the bat. Up first, so these are like kind of fun mech themed intros, sort of like alternate storyline kind of things. So up first, as usual, from Texas, the man, the myth, the Filipino Johnny Depp, Fish is here. This is my story for you, Fish. You're battling to the very end, all right? It's your last stand in your mech here, all right? All is lost. The enemy mech is locked on yours, ready to launch their final stream of missiles and end your valiant service. Now, Fish, you know the end has come, and as smoke is filling your cockpit, you softly kiss two of your fingers and then gently press those fingers to the Olivia Munn picture hanging in your cockpit as you mutter, "This one's for you, Munn," before you're obliterated into dust. Does that sound about right, Fish?
Oh, very well put, Morgan. That was epically described of my last moments on the battlefield in that alternate timeline. It's just a shame that Olivia Munn doesn't know who I am.
Maybe this is your chance, man. This is how we're going to get her attention.
Right? I have to change that somehow. I have to get her attention.
In death, you have a name.
Way. Oh, yeah. I do?
Yeah.
You know, well, here's what we'll just tag. I'm going to tag her like 100 times in the post. It's going to be like 15 Olivia Munn tags, all right? It's going to get to her somehow.
Do that. Yes. Run a poll as well. Should Fish...
The tricky part is going to be if she actually responds. What does Fish do then?
Oh, I'll die of nervousness then.
God, that would be...
Oh, geez. Oh, God.
Oh, my God. Well, golly gee willikers, Olivia Munn.
It would awaken the beast inside of you, Fish. I just know it.
I don't like the sound of that.
I do. I'm always trying to bring the beast out. You know, Fish, you probably could have survived if you had spent more time studying at the academy in your mech piloting class, if that's a thing, mech piloting 101, and less time skipping class for Monster Hunter World. So, lesson learned, my friend.
Yeah, I guess I just walked on the battlefield and that was the end.
This is how you do this, right, guys?
Look, guys, I moved. Oh, shit, there's all the enemies. It's all this shit flying
Which one's a gas? Which one's a gas?
You fought valiantly to the end. Thanks for being here, Fish. From Japan, Shay Layton is here, of course. The professor. Shay, my alternate storyline for you is I think fits you pretty well. You had a research mech, all right, and you were deployed to do some biological surveying of a new planet. Now, this mech was mostly equipped with different elements of technology that one would use to study and observe, in some cases even gather resources for the greater good of the research, right? It's like a non-combat mech. But of course, here's the strange thing. You didn't show up for a while. They haven't heard from you. So they deploy a unit to find your mech. And of course, when they find your mech, it's just standing still in the middle of the forest, right? And they're like, what the hell is going on? So they slowly approach this mech. It's like a squad of soldiers, right? They're just trying to be cautious. Like maybe it's been taken over. Maybe something's wrong here. And as they approach the mech, they see the glass cockpit is completely fogged. And one hand, a woman's hand, comes up, slapping the window, much like the scene from Titanic. And they realize that you were doing your own form of biological research.
What? With alien life forms? What the fuck is going on?
That's where you fill in the rest of that story. I mean, it is a woman's hand. I didn't say it was an alien. It's a woman's.
Yeah. And then a tentacle comes up and grabs that hand, and they both slowly slide down the foggy window.
Oh, okay. See?
Oh, Jesus Christ. That was good. That was the best one you've ever written for me, and I'm very appreciative that was my story. Whew. That was good.
Yeah, I was... As soon as it started to come together, I was like, man, I hope he appreciates my Titanic reference. I'm going old school.
You're going all in. Oh, fuck. Yeah, apparently in an alternate universe, Tinder doesn't exist. I just have to Commander Riker my way through a new planet.
Mm-hmm. That's true. You were doing research, that's for sure.
I was doing something.
It's odd. His whole mech actually leans just a little bit. It's not just not just Shay. His whole
like
mech
back and
leans
forth.
just a little bit.
Do mechs squeak like a car would squeak on Lover's Lane?
What is Lover's Lane?
I don't know. That's like a 1960s. You know, Makeout Point. You know, in the 60s, they drive up on the place. You know? Come on.
The place. All right. The place.
Thanks for being here, Shay, and conducting research with us. So I thought
I ain't doing it with you.
Well, you know,
I ain't doing it with you.
Mm-hmm.
I do my own research by myself.
All right.
Like I mean, like
I'm
I'm the only male doing research in the room.
Huh.
All right. Now Joshua Fowler here is, of course, Joshua Fowler is here, of course, from Michigan. Now, Josh, I'm adding a plot twist to the story, okay? This is the first intro ever with a plot twist. All right, this is a revolution
Thanks
for all
ruining
podcasts.
It. God damn it. It's going to bug me the whole way getting to that plot twist.
Well, you know there is
What's
a
the
twist,
twist?
Josh. But what is it? Yeah, there you go.
It's like watching any Tarantino film.
Okay. Yeah, that's where the inspiration comes from, right? Too much M. Night Shyamalan. Now, Josh, here's the plot twist. Josh was the pilot that took down Fish, the ace pilot. Josh was also the commander that found Shay's mech when he slowly removes his helmet and yells to another member of his team, "Somebody come clean this mess up." All right? That's Josh. And I thought that'd be fitting for you, Josh. How does that sound?
That works.
It works.
It works.
I thought it'd also be fitting if the person that you yelled to come clean it up was me. I come scurrying in to clean up the mess.
Just smiling the whole time.
Yes,
Master.
Commander
Josh.
Right
Yes, sir.
away, Master.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right away.
Just
I don't think I
breathing
can
deeply the entire time you're sitting there scrubbing down that cockpit.
Just breathing in the fuck fumes. The alien fuck fumes.
God damn.
Josh, you sold it. I like that. You got into it. You sold it with conviction.
He gave you the template of humor, and Josh, you valiantly ran away with it.
Yeah,
I'm so proud of you.
Good job. That's all I'm here for. I'm just trying to set up. I'm just setting up the tee so you guys can hit the home run. All right, that's my goal.
You are a facilitator, if you will.
Yes. Setting up the alley-oop, if you will. Now, also, I'm cleaning, and I went through the obliterated remains of Fish's mech, and I found the burnt, charred picture of Olivia Munn. Shoved that in my pocket for later. So I'm littered throughout this story in a different. Fish is jealous. I just laugh at Fish's burnt corpse, and I take his pride and joy. No, that sounds a little morbid, but you know, it is what
Mom
it is.
always said mix are like a box of chocolates.
By the way, I'm Morgan Barnes from Montana. I will say this: I had this realization last night. I was watching The Shape of Water, and it's come full circle in society as good for our podcast. It's an excellent movie, by the way, Guillermo del Toro. I can never say his name right. Guillermo? How do you guys say it?
Guillermo.
Guillermo. Okay, thank you. See,
Guillermo.
Yeah, that's how I try to say it. Yeah, it's
Guillermo.
Quesadilla.
Grillalobo.
Chalupa.
Tortilla. God damn it.
That's actually a callback to one time in the podcast previously where you did call a tortilla a tortilla, because you did do that.
Yes. Yeah, that was
That's a good
joke.
callback. I'm proud of you.
That was the joke. Yep. But I noticed, because we've been joking about fish having sex with things, and they have hermaphroditic fish. Our podcast has all been about different forms of fish sex since we've conspired, and yet this movie, which won Best Picture, culminates in many ways with a scene in which a mute woman, has sex with a fish, and they actually describe it in graphic detail later on. How do you feel about that, Fish?
It's one step for fish kind, I guess.
One step for fishy kind?
Never happened before.
No, of course not. Actually, you know what? I've recently saw a video of a dolphin trying to have sex with
saw that?
scuba divers.
Yeah, you saw that. Not just trying. Not just trying.
Like, all right.
It was like 2 minutes of
that dolphin eventually got there.
Oh, no way.
Man.
I guess the video ended before it got there. Ooh.
Fish didn't make it past the first 30 seconds. That's about how long he lasts. Heyo! Heyo!
Wow.
Well, I'm done. May as well turn it off. Thanks, Pornhub.
I've seen all I need to see. My imagination can do the rest.
Oh, God. Walked right into that one.
Yeah, I really need to see the Shape of Water movie now.
Oh, you do. You'll love it. They actually describe in detail how it works, too. That is a strange movie, but it actually reminded me a lot of BioShock. There's even a character named... Guillermo del Toro, I was listening to him on a podcast with Ken Levine, who created BioShock. He is a really brilliant man, but he is really into video games. He talked about how much BioShock had an influence on him, and you could see that in this movie because of the setting, and like the opening scene is like underwater in this house, and it's just his video game influences are written all over this thing. So you guys should definitely check it out. High recommendation. But anyways, let's get to the show here. Now that we're all properly warmed up, the topic of the show is basically games that sound horrible on paper and end up being really great. Much like the movie The Shape of Water, a movie about a fish having sex with a woman, doesn't sound too appealing, but, well, I guess in some
You
cases
want your
it
fish
might.
to have sex with couches.
Yes.
Just as a
Typically,
general
yes.
rule.
It's a lot safer, less messier.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you would know. It's a bridge in the evolutionary chain. Couches, then you move on to human beings.
It explains that fossil.
the couch fossil.
Is there a fossil with a fish and a couch?
Yeah, just O-face fish. Yeah, getting on with the couch.
And the Pier 1 employee running after you. So it's that's my favorite detail of that whole story. So anyways, the idea is video games that we were not necessarily just surprised by, because you could say that about anything, but games that generally did not sound intriguing when you thought about them or looked at them on paper, but they're actually great. Now, my example that started this whole thing, I put it on the Instagram to kind of give it away, was Uncharted, because Uncharted was always something I stayed away from. I'm like, oh God, this main character, Nathan Drake, looks like a Abercrombie and Fitch model, really obnoxious. You know, it's inspired sort of by like the National Treasure films, which are just hot garbage in all capacities. It's a generic treasure hunting thing. It looks like it's got too much action, which is like, I generally dislike those kind of movies and video games if they're not done really well.